So I've been talking for quite some time about how it just feels like certain crimes are going up. I read the stories for a living. I literally sit here and talk with you about how all these crazy stories are happening. And yet the FBI and other statistics keep coming in and saying, you know what? Crime's going down. And I'm like, it doesn't feel like it. Now, I know facts don't care about your feelings, but this time the facts back up my feelings. Let's get into it. Here we go. Don't worry. We're not going to get all touchy-feely. I feel like... No, we're not doing that. FBI quietly revised the U.S. crime statistics to show an increase in violent crime. Hey, maybe if we just kind of slide into the DMs, right? We just slide into the DMs. They won't notice that, the statistics that we said decreased actually increased by a pretty good sized chunk. As investigations by RealClearInvestigations found that the FBI updated its 2022 crime statistics in September, showing that rather than a 2.1% drop in violent crime, as originally reported, the United States actually experienced a 4.5% rise in violent crime. Let's go over that again. 2.1% drop. Oh yeah, things are going great. We got a 2.1% drop. Yeah. I mean, actually, I don't really tell anybody this, but it's a 4.5% increase in violent crime. The new data set showed thousands more. Here we go. You're going to feel good about this. I do. Thousands more murders, rapes, robberies, and aggravated assaults. That's weird. That's weird. I mean, you let, 7 million, 10 million, 15 million, 20 million people into the country illegally. You don't vet most of them. And then you got thousands more murders, rapes, robberies, and aggravated assaults. Yeah. More than 6% point change is unprecedented in recent FBI statistical reporting. What do you want to bet that somebody at the FBI goes, they caught us. Good Lord, you need to reverse those stats. But we just reversed them once again and it went the wrong way. Reverse them again. You want to bet that happens. So more than 6% point change is unprecedented in recent FBI statistics reporting. William and Mary Professor Carl Moody told the outlet, I've checked the data on total violent crime from 2004 to 2022, he said. There were no revisions from 04 to 15. And from 2016 to 2020, there were small changes of less than 1% point. Huge changes in 2021 and 2022, especially without an explanation, make it difficult to trust the FBI data. So what's going on? Why no explanation? Why is that? Yeah. It's a good question, right? I mean, it's a legit question. Why is this happening? I mean, I think that goes without saying. Hey, maybe they won't notice. Hey, we don't care. Meaning we, the FBI, just shove it on through because we've got this whole idea that things are getting better. Actually, no, that's not the case. They went up. Oh, that doesn't fit the narrative, but it's close enough to the election. And we just decided we couldn't hide this for any longer. It's kind of like the FBI had the Hunter Biden laptop in late 2019, November of 2019. And then New York Post broke that story in October of 2020. Right. That was the October surprise of the 2020 election. And FBI already had that laptop for over a year. Over a year? Just shy of a year. And they've got Hunter Biden's wiener on there with Skittles on it, right? They got pictures of that. All kinds of craziness. And what is the storyline? What is the narrative? Sounds like Russian disinfo, said 51 former intelligence officers. Just a bunch of old guys who were told from somebody in the Democratic Party, hey, you know what? If you guys just say it sounds like misinformation, we'll run with that. You guys sign the letter? FBI knew it all along, that this was a legit deal. And they were afraid that it was going to throw the election because that whole Hillary Clinton with the email type deal, on her private server. Yeah. I think the FBI just didn't want to be, blamed for the same thing twice. It's not an uncommon explanation out there anyway. It's up to the FBI to explain what they have done, and they haven't explained these large changes. I haven't seen anything. FBI September press release doesn't note the change in crime statistics. We're just going to slide this on in and hope for the best. And, sometimes things change. Things change, and we don't have to explain it. According to CrimeSearch.org, the revised FBI statistics show a net increase of 1,699 more murders. That's comforting. 70, almost 800 more rapes. That is terrible. 33,000 more robberies, 37,000 more aggravated assaults. Some figures from 2021 were decreased. All right. But when you got murders, rapes, robberies, aggravated assault have gone the wrong direction up. What's that tell you? Did we have a statistical anomaly? Did we have a let's hide the facts campaign for a while so that we can say things are getting better under the Biden administration? I mean, those would be logical explanations, right? The increase was recorded despite the fact that data still weren't collected from some of the most violent precincts. Incomplete data set. Stats 101. After the FBI changed the way it collects national crime data in 2021, some major police departments, such as those in New York City and LA, haven't turned over their crime data. You know what I've been saying is that crime is happening and people are not reporting it. Because in so many areas, like my area here in Seattle, you don't have enough cops to come out and handle your crime report. Hey, somebody broke into my house. Hey, somebody broke into my mailbox. I can't tell you the number of times my mailbox has been broken into at home. I get nothing there, by the way, except a bunch of junk mail. And so, I just don't ever really get anything there. And my mailbox just keeps getting jacked. I live in Bellevue. But it's like we're like a block off of a bus stop. And I think nut jobs come from Seattle and get off the bus. And, hey, I got 15 minutes before the next bus. Let's just wander around and rip off people's mail. Because we know that, nothing's really going to happen. You got your mailbox ripped into? Who cares? I don't want to spend the time filling out a crime report. And they know that. When my catalytic converter got stolen, it got stolen. Can you help me find the guys who did it? I should do that so that these criminal statistics are accurate. But I, alongside so many other people, kind of busy. I got a bunch of stuff going on. And sometimes, doing that kind of thing is not even on the list of priorities. It's just boop, off. Not there, right? Got other stuff to do. The FBI discloses now that its data are based on data received from 13,000 of the 19,000 law enforcement agencies in the country. Oh, I feel so much better. So you got accurate data and it went the wrong way. Okay. But what about, are you going to have all the media outlets take the data sets that you did release and have them change their stories to basically indicating that crime is not falling? In fact, it has gone up, and in fact, it has gone up significantly. Are you going to do that? Oh, but wait a minute. You didn't, because you just slid into the DMs, slid that data in there. Maybe nobody will notice. Maybe nobody will notice that I'm here and I'm asking out this hot girl. That's the slide into the DMs, right? Why do they say slide? I don't know. You ever slide into somebody's DMs? Yeah, me neither. Although, I think just sliding into DMs, it just means you contacted them on the direct messages, right? I don't even understand what people are saying in 2024 anymore. The update is politically charged as Democrats have liberally cited the previous numbers showing a decrease in crime as evidence that former President Donald Trump and Republicans' concern over rising crime is false. And that is what I have stated here on News for Reasonable People. Sometimes I'm going to go into feelings now. And facts don't care about your feelings, but I'm going to talk about my feelings. Sometimes I feel like when I'm reading the news that I just get in my head, good Lord, I need a gun. Everybody's out to get me. I need to just hunker down in my safe room at home that I don't have, but I'm a dude. So come get me, and you mentally get to this point where you're like, man, things are not safe. I read so many stories, but then I look at the stories and I'm like, you know what? Things aren't necessarily safe. And it's okay to say that. It's okay to report that if that is the news, if that is the situation. Specifically here in Seattle and in Bellevue, that is the case. I've lived here all of my life, just about all of my life. I had stints in Dallas, lived in Snohomish for a little bit, lived in Bothell, lived in Medina, right by Gates. And, I have seen more crime and experienced more crime in the last couple of years than I ever have. Armed robberies at my two favorite mini marts. Armed robberies. That didn't used to happen. Period. You only had that happen over in Seattle, and you had it happen just a little bit. And it was like, yeah, big city crime. But now we've got these numbers. And so does this make sense? It does to me, because I read the stories and you guys hear them all the time. So when I often say, it doesn't really feel like these numbers are decreasing. My feeling? Yeah. But it's also based on, I read a lot of news and I share so much of that news with you here. So to see this, I'm like, okay, all right, yeah. And I have heard that a lot of the police departments are so short-staffed, they don't have the ability to get together the information, compile the information, and get it to these entities that need it. It's not an excuse, but then state that when you're putting out the criminal stats that, hey, you know what? We haven't heard from Oakland, New York City, LA, San Francisco, Philadelphia. We haven't heard from these districts, so put a little asterisk by it and go, anything can happen. And that's what happened here is they did a revision and, this is where we sit. So big increase in crime is the bottom line, not a decrease. Will mainstream media report that? I don't think so. Because you know what? We're a few weeks away from the election. Kamala Harris just had that disaster of an interview with Brett Baer. I just did a reaction video of that. And you start to throw out this stuff in mainstream media, people are going to go, that doesn't paint a good picture for the Harris campaign. We can't have that. We need to cover that up. Big city crime. Now, I think you've got a rise in criminal activity going out there, and this just basically supports that. That's where I sit. All right. That's it for me on this one. Thank you so much. I'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.